not too much, because I don't want to bore you. And it's not moving. Just the first slide. So, anyways, well, so then hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Maria Forrest. I am a Theta Healer and a Pilates instructor. So for just a quick background, for many years I worked in the corporate world and was very structured, very male-dominant energy, which was awesome. I loved the structure, I loved processes. So I worked in IT for a long time. I basically was a business analyst and a project manager. And probably about 20 years later, I started doing Pilates. And with Pilates, I got really good at, I learned the body, and I learned very easily patterns in the body, and I could very easily change those patterns in the body for people with movement, right? Long story short, then I became a Theta Healer. Actually, it was probably 2 years into the energy work, 2 years into Pilates when I became a Theta Healer. So what Theta Healing taught me that I didn't learn when I was a Pilates teacher was about the mind and how basically the patterns that we have in our minds, right? We create patterns in our lives, and now with Theta Healing I can easily change those patterns. It's really interesting because I was trying to put something together and I realized, wow, there's a pattern here with all of the work that I've done to lead me to where I'm at right now. So today, what I'm here to talk to you about is, we're going to talk BS. Everybody's like, what? So BS is the belief systems, right? So these are the things that with my practice, since I've been doing Theta Healing for almost 10 years now, I wanted to bring the most that I could to help you guys see these are the type of things that affect most people who come to see me. These are two main things that really have them confused or unhappy, right? And they're not able to find emotional stability, right? So it's about basically people believe their thoughts instead of just observing the thoughts. The thoughts are not necessarily the highest truth about you. They're just thoughts. So based on our experiences growing up, we created beliefs, we created thoughts about ourselves, we created thoughts about relationships, right? If our parents have been divorced, you learned about, maybe you created your own beliefs about marriage or about relationships, right? But at the end, these are just beliefs. They're not the truth, right? And we also have a world of more having than actually being. So these are the two topics that I'm going to focus on, and then towards the end, we're actually going to have a meditation, which is Theta Healing based, to help you. We're going to probably come up with maybe one thing that's going on in your life that you would love to change, and we'll use that as our focus, right? So you have a taste of what Theta Healing is. And hi, come on in. For us to leave here being more of beginning to believe the power of your thoughts, and actually I'm going to give you an example. So let's say we have a situation or an experience where we created a thought because of that situation, right? We create emotions and then behaviors, right? Let's say you're all stressed out, so you make these calls trying to fix it, right? And then the key here, you guys, is this. With all my work that I've done, this is the key, where we tend to store this stuff in our body. We don't even realize that we have these emotions, right? We have these experiences and we have these thoughts that somewhere in our body create a sensation, right? And so this is the key to actually get to release, especially if there's people here who had some type of trauma or know someone that has had some type of trauma, right? If it's released from the body, the person has the opportunity opportunity to release this from the body, they can heal this, right? They no longer have to feel afraid or angry or, right? So that's the key, if anything, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So this is really interesting. So this to me was like mind blowing when I first learned, when I started to teach Theta Healing, where our conscious mind is, this is really nice because you can get an image, right? Your conscious mind is like a word processor. It's the decision maker of your day-to-day affairs, right? But our conscious mind is only 12%, you guys. Only 12%. The other 88% is our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is like the computer hard drive, and it contains all of our memories, our habits, our beliefs, right? Our personality, self-image, and it controls autonomic bodily function. So that's the key right there, that it controls. If you don't know what that is, basically your autonomic nervous system is a control center that acts largely unconsciously and regulates bodily functions such as your heart rate, digestion, respiratory rate, pupillary response, urination, and your sexual arousal. And then the key, as I mentioned before, is the body. The body is the computer hardware, right? This is what responds to the programming. So if we have unresolved beliefs, thoughts, experiences that we have not been able to process in a healthy manner, it can create dis-ease in the body, right? So the conscious mind can program the subconscious mind for new behaviors and habits. Unfortunately, as we grow older, we create more, right? And we have, sometimes we're stuck in the old behaviors, and as a result of these beliefs, we no longer, some of them no longer serve us. So we do carry our childhood experiences into adulthood. Some of you might already know that, right? So who here works with kids? Any organization here works with kids? Okay. Have you guys ever heard of the ACE study? Yes, okay, good. So the ACE is adverse childhood experiences, basically potential traumatic experiences that children have growing up, or they have an alcoholic parent, or one was abused. There's basically a questionnaire, and then based on this study, based on your score, they already know what dis-ease you're gonna have as you get older, which is fascinating. So what's really cool is that there's prevention now. Now that we know this, and we have kids, right, we may know of somebody who's had traumatic issues growing up, and sometimes they're not even traumatic, you guys. If you actually look at the questionnaire, it's, one parent that, that maybe drank, right, or, sometimes there's, in some families, it's okay to hit. You can score certain numbers on this test. So it's really interesting how we're all finally, I think, starting to shift towards being more conscious of this stuff, right? So the other thing which are basically the having and the being society, right? We want something, we really want it, we get it, and then it's this vicious cycle. We're going outside of ourselves for happiness. We're going outside of ourselves, right? Finding, the awesome car. We're finding the awesome boyfriend or girlfriend, and that's great. It's awesome. But this going outside of yourself for this is not necessarily going to make you feel fulfilled or happy, right? So it's this vicious cycle, the society that we have. And you also have the media, right? Social media. There's blockbuster video, movies, right? That basically have this mindset. So these are the two belief systems that people come into my office, and when I work with them, when they're stuck in these systems, belief systems, it's really hard for them to really, luckily I have the tools, and I help them, and I teach them how to go inward and to find this happiness or fulfillment within themselves. They no longer have to go outside. But these are the two main things that I wanted to talk about, right? That basically most people, who believe in this reality, right? And it's reinforced, like I said. So for me, that's the BS, right? So what are some of the things we can do to become emotional well, right? So you guys know what stress is, right? Most of us have stress. Stress are just repetitive thoughts that we have relationships, right? They're just thoughts. So what can we do to have an emotional, well-balanced, and feel more and live a more fulfilling life? So I'm gonna walk around so I can reach. So we have, first of all, you might already have a practice, right? Most people have a practice. Some don't, and that's okay, but just to be grateful, ready for what you have already in your life. It's really important to count your blessings. I know sometimes life sucks, and it throws certain things in our way, but it's really important, especially during those times, to say, you know what, I'm gonna count my blessings anyways. So this is just an attitude of being able to allow things to happen, because there are gonna happen, but find the opportunity in these to be grateful for something. Create a life that feels good on the inside and not one that looks good on the outside, right? Many people are in positions or in jobs. I don't think you guys are. You guys, this energy here is amazing. This space that you guys have. But this is very common, right? So happiness starts with you. It's an inside job, right? When are you going to be happy? When are you going to, when we find that love soulmate, or when we make our first million, right? We have the opportunity, right? If we don't listen to those thoughts, okay, put those thoughts aside. If you can be happy right now, what's stopping you from being happy right now, right? So don't believe your thoughts, observe them. And this was a big learning experience for me, is being able to be more observant of my thoughts. I'll be in a conversation and I'll be actually going inside, and I've already trained myself to just go inside and feel and say, wow, okay, there's angry Maria, right? That person's making me a little angry. Wow, that's cool. So it's actually, for me, it's like very adventurous. It's like, okay, I'm going inward and I'm feeling. So the other thing is to feel. In order for you to heal anything that's going on in your life, you have to feel it, because as I showed you before, it will resonate in your body. And if you don't give yourself the opportunity, you might learn something the hard way, right? Where you might get disease in the body. So you have an opportunity, right, to definitely feel and not run away from these things, right? Because we have a lot of distractions, right? Some of us are, I know I was a workaholic. It used to be a distraction for me. So if I were to stop doing the work and just sit and give myself the opportunity to feel whatever it is that I needed to feel, maybe it wasn't a happy relationship with my mate or anything, right? It's just giving yourself the opportunity to feel it. And I promise you that it will subside if you give yourself the opportunity, if you don't distract yourself from it. Forgiveness, right? So first of all, let's forgive ourselves for believing all this BS, right? Forgiveness is a big thing about us being able to forgive ourselves for maybe giving our power away. How many people here have just given their, said yes because they thought it was the right thing to do, took the job because they thought it was the right thing to do, and here you were still not feeling fulfilled. So it's about truly forgiving ourselves, right, for not allowing ourselves to speak our truth and be in our power, and for those who have taken it away from us. Sometimes as children, we don't realize, and the power is taken away from us. So it's also about forgiving others, not because they deserve to be forgiven, but because you deserve peace, right? It's about being able to claim your power back. It has nothing to do with the other person when we're forgiving. So the body is a big one, right? We take care of your body. We need to nourish it. Sometimes, we don't realize, like I said before, and we're trying to distract ourselves, so we'll drink, we'll smoke, right? To feel good, because maybe there's a situation in our life that doesn't feel good. So it's very important to find a way to love those juicy thighs, whatever thing you have about yourself, give yourself, just accept it. It is what it is, and love that part of you, right? Connect with your body and give, your body gives you so much information, we're just not taught to listen. So if anything, take this from today's talk, is to give yourself, the ability to feel stuff that's going on, not just go and go and go and do and do and do. So the things that bring you joy in your life as well, right? You want to fully feel those. The people, places, and things that don't feel good, you want to feel those too, right? The regret, the anger, the shame. are all they're gonna resonate somewhere in your body. Just give yourself permission to just be there and feel it. And sometimes if you have had trauma in your life, you think when you're going through that experience that you're gonna die because you feel it and it feels horrible. I promise you, you're not gonna die. And if you don't feel safe to do this on your own, there's people like myself who can help you, right? To help you go through these very in a sacred, loving space where you can feel safe, that you can have these experiences and release them from the body, right? Because they're stored. The other thing is mouth, right? So you have another thing that'll help feel like you're having an awesome life, right? Is using kind words, especially towards ourselves. We tend to be very abusive towards ourselves, right? And if anything that I've learned with these sessions that I've had with, including myself and my students is we need to learn how to truly love and accept ourselves, right? We tend to treat ourselves in not a nice way. So the way I'll put this in maybe in one way that you can maybe when you see yourself in the mirror or when you think of yourself and treat yourself like you would a child or like you would your best friend, right? There's certain things that we wouldn't tell a kid or our best friend, but sometimes we're very quick to say it to ourselves. So it's being able to be kind to ourselves and to others, truly love and honor yourself. Who here has a daily practice? Excellent. So that's an awesome way of honoring yourself. You're actually scheduling time to be with yourself. You're actually scheduling time and you're honoring yourself and you're making the time for you to be with you. So I encourage you guys, sometimes, and I know it's very crazy, we have kids, we're running around, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to just sit still and be with yourself, right? To connect inward, because this is an outside world, and all I'm saying is that once you start to create an inside world for you, your life will start to shift, and it'll become a much better place for you. The other thing is, do you guys know what your core values are? No?
Yes.
Yes, all right, cool. So let's go ahead and switch the slide. What we'll do is, I put a bunch up on the board, so let's just come up with 3. Like, you should have more than 5, but let's say 3, because we're gonna use it towards the meditation at the end. So if you have a pen or a paper, or you just look, does anyone wanna know what my core values are?
Yes.
So authenticity, which is not even on there, sorry, but authenticity, love, community, honesty, and clarity. Those are my 5, right? So everything that I do, whether it's with my family, whether it's with my work, these are my core values, and I wanna make sure that no matter what, that this is incorporated within there, right? I'm not giving my power away anymore. God knows I used to do that, right? Right, escaping from situations, not wanting, so it's all about now authenticity, love, community, honesty. I need to be clear with the people around me. So just take a moment and see if you can come up with at least 3 to 5. So just remember them. You can have them, you write them down in front of you, or you just remember them, because when we do the meditation, I want you to bring them up, so we can integrate all of these in the meditation. That's too many.
No, that's it.
Oh, you
Core values, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Try to pick, that's awesome. Those are good. So you just try to pick maybe no more than 5. So you've done this before, this is awesome. Is everyone done? Does anyone need a little bit more time? Is it okay to change the slide? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so the roadmap. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the roadmap. So the roadmap is Diana Stabal. I don't know if some of you ever Googled what Theta Healing is. Diana, part of what I teach quote the roadmap. So the roadmap is basically a process, right? The mind needs a place, right? The mind needs a beginning, the mind needs an end, the mind needs to put everything in a box, the mind has to do. So what brilliant, she came up with this roadmap to teach people how to connect to this divine energy, source energy, the creator of all it is, whatever that means to you. This energy that I'm referring to runs through all of us, right? Everything here has, right, this energy. And so this is a way of consciously connecting with this energy, which is brilliant. So I use this in all of my my sessions. When I start, I get them to connect. Because what happens when you do this is that you're coming from a higher place. You're coming from not knowing what your beliefs are, but we're coming from the higher part of you, not that physical part of you that has all these beliefs and all these thoughts. So you're tapping into this energy, and if you had to feel it somewhere in your body, it would be your heart, right? So, do you guys know your chakras?
Yes.
Sort of, right? So the lower chakras, upper chakras, what's in the middle is your heart. This is your portal, this is your connection to that divine energy that is you, that is all of us, right? So today we'll do the roadmap, hopefully, because they call it Theta Healing because it's a Theta brainwave. So Theta brainwave is like the beginning of sleep when you're sort of dozing off, but you're still real conscious, right? People who do Reiki are in alpha, it's a little bit more meditative. Beta is right now, I'm talking, hopefully you guys are in beta too and you're not asleep, right? If you're in beta, you're paying attention, you're talking. So that's why she calls it Theta Healing, because when she did research, she realized that when we go up and we connect with this energy, we're in a Theta brainwave. And it is scientifically proven that when you're in this brainwave, you can easily tap into your subconscious mind, which is 88% of our day-to-day. We don't even realize it's all this database that's back there somewhere. We don't know what it is because our experiences have created these thoughts, these beliefs, and we've created these patterns in our life that we're like, why does this keep happening to me? Because we have a belief somewhere in our, right? So with this, you're able to tap into a Theta brainwave. You're able to tap into this part of you, which is all that is, and you're able to change these beliefs here.
I'm wondering if you're in that theta state and you're listening to something negative,
Yes,
like
good
news
question.
or anything like that, is that also affecting?
Yes.
Are you storing all of that in your
Yes,
subconscious
it's going
mind?
straight into your subconscious mind. So I have students who study, and so I have them, if they're going to study and they're going to read that, what they need to study, if they go on a Theta brainwave, they learn a lot faster, right? So when we're in Theta Healing, and I teach my people who become teachers as well, is you got to be careful when you're working with someone, you're tapping into this energy, and you've got all your stuff going on, right? You're not helping them, and you're not helping yourself, and you're creating this even more so in your life. So it's a training. You have to train, like I'm trained to go into a Theta brainwave, go into Beta and talk, and it's not a hard thing to do, but it's a very good question. It's very important not to, sometimes we zone out in front of the TV, right? And this stuff's going on or in the background, right? Did you guys know that children are in a Theta brainwave and they're basically sponge up until I think the age of 7, right? So we have to be careful what these kids listen to or watch on TV, right? Because they're absorbing all of this energy, all of these beliefs on TV. Oh my gosh, you need this pill for this, you need this for, right? It's very, very scary, so we have to be careful.
And are we able to clear those?
You're definitely able to clear beliefs that are no longer serving you, right? That's what, with Theta Healing, you can do a lot of things, which are really cool. You can talk to your higher self, but for me, the most powerful part of this is the belief work, right? Being able to change a belief that I created this belief about myself when I was a kid. One that's really common is I'm not good enough, right? If we keep believing that we're not good enough, life will present the situations in your life to just prove it to you over and over again for as long as you believe that you're not good enough. So if we change that belief, we change basically at a physiological level, right? Because it's stored in the body. At a physiological level, we change this and we're able to now create a different life of I am worthy and deserving, and I am, right? So they're huge. And this, to me, that's why it's so powerful, because I know that in 1 hour you can change so much, right? If you want to. You can keep them. I mean, I've had very small percentage, but maybe some clients will be like, no, I want that belief. Okay. Right. We all have free will. It's up to us whether we want to change it or not. So I'm gonna walk you up to this connection, the source, and you guys might have already felt this before, okay? This is not something that I invented. This is just tapping into something that's already a part of you. When you're with nature and you feel amazing, that's, right, that's that connection. That's nature, that's your connection to source, right? Because that is source. So, it's as simple as once you go up, I wanna change this to this, and I wanna know what this, the new awesome belief, I wanna know what that feels like, that I truly believe it and that I have it in my life now, right? It is that simple, right? So in a group environment, it's kind of hard to change beliefs because we all have probably many. We may have some that are in common, which I'm going to throw some in there when we do the meditation, and at that point you can say, yes, I'll accept, or no, I don't want that belief, right? Like I put, very subtly, I put the first slide, which is one of my beliefs, right? That we are spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. That's my belief, and I love it. My life shows that to me over and over again with my students, right? I see these things that are like, wow. And I'm able to also see myself from a totally different perspective of not this victim that's, life just, it's not like that anymore. So you can easily change the beliefs with Theta Healing, and you can also download and install and teach yourself what these things that you've never had in your life actually feels like. Everybody wants money, but do you know what it feels like to really have this abundance? Everybody wants prosperity and abundance of money, but do you know what it feels like? So if you don't feel like it, there's this gap, right? So you can teach, you can download, right? Just like a program. I used to be like I said, I worked in IT, so that terminology helps me, right? So you're able to download what this feels like, and again, it's not my perspective, it's this energy's perspective, which is already whole, which you are already. It's just this human part of us doesn't believe it. I don't believe that I'm whole, right? Because I have all these issues. I got a boyfriend who's a jerk, whatever, right? But just having this opportunity to tap in and knowing how to do that is awesome. So if you don't have a practice, if you're gonna create one, go up, connect. I'm gonna show you how to do it today, and just be with that energy. And be very gentle with yourself when you're in that energy, right? And know that you can change your beliefs. You do not have to move on with these same beliefs that we have now. Some of them are really awesome, I'm sure. Some of them,
What if you don't know if they were holding
right, because
beliefs?
that's a valid question. So 12% of us, 12% of our mind is our day-to-day stuff. So you're right. A lot of people who come and they have sessions with me, they don't know. They have no idea that when they do, when they have that conscious, like, oh my God, now they connect the dots. Boom, 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 boom. They're like, wow, this is a pattern. I see now why. That makes so much sense. Yes, please, thank you. Take it out. I don't want that. Right? And then they no longer have to create this pattern in their life because they no longer have that belief. Some of you are like, yeah, right. I can feel it. It's okay. So, any questions before we go into the meditation?
I suppose, just one, what if you have a lot of, how do you, empty if you have, a lot of negative energy in that space?
So that's a good question. So there's things you can do, right? I was, like I said, I worked in the corporate world. I was very much in my head. And now with the work that I do, I'm very much in my heart, right? It's totally different energy. So I had to learn tools to ground myself, to feel, right? So that I wasn't so much in my head and believing all of this BS and believing all of the BS that's going on around us as well. So for me, and it's different for everybody. So you probably have already done certain things where you feel, wow, this feels good and it feels nice, and you don't necessarily. To me, my two main things are, I do something, a modality called Kriya. It's long Kriya, short Kriya, but it's basically Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, and it's basically breath work. Amazing. It totally raises my vibration. I feel amazing, and I can sit next to I don't have any enemies, but I can sit next to somebody who I just had a fight with, and I'll be like, hey, buddy, right? And it connects me back to who I really am, not this angry Maria who has all these beliefs, right? So to me, that helps me, right? So I do my Kriya once a week. You're supposed to do a daily practice, but I try to at least do the long one once a week. I also do, my friends know, the Russian baths. To me, you have no way to escape your body because it is so hot in these rooms and you just feel everything. And to me, when I leave there, my mind So another thing is working out grounds me. It gets me out of my thoughts, right? It gets me back into my body. So whatever exercises or whatever things you can do to help you get back into this and not be so much, in your head, that's what's gonna help you to then be more of an observer and go, oh wow, that's pretty negative. But, also knowing that it's an opportunity for you to even heal that stuff that's coming up for you, right? Because there's reasons why we have these thoughts, right? It could be a parent that, or it could be something that we believed, we had a certain experience. So like I said at the beginning, it's be more observant of your thoughts. It's not, look, I've tried so many different modalities, and I'm not one to just sit there and observe my thoughts and then try to, that's just too hard for me. So simple, just observe. And when you get to a point where it's gonna be, at least for me, it's fun, and I'll be more observant. Like, when I first started, I'm like, God, there's nervous Maria. She has to talk to other people, right? All this stuff is going, but I'm not gonna let that control me. I'm more, right? More of an observer of my thoughts than being, oh my God, this is scary, right? So there's so many different modalities out there, you guys. Theta healing is one that'll help you to change beliefs. It'll help you to connect you to who you really are, not who you think you are. Now, and then if you don't want to do modalities and you just want to go out and get a good workout, that'll help to ground you too. It'll get you out of your head. One thing that I did was the hot yoga. I was like, I just felt like I had a can of ass whooping, and I was on this floor. I wanted to cry. The last thing on my mind was all the stuff that I had to do, right? So you don't have to go to that extreme, but there are things that you can do to help to ground you. So the other thing too, like if you were like me, where I was always in my head, and I was with all these thoughts, it was really hard for me to meditate. I hated meditating. It was the hardest thing I could do. But it's people like us that needed that. We need it most, right? So it's finding the things that work for you to ground you, right? My husband runs. That's how he grounds himself, right? And for me, it's, having the time to myself. I need time to myself. I need time to recoup. I need time to feel good again, right? Sometimes life is, running from one thing to another, having kids, having business. So and like I said, there's tools. You can probably Google that same question. You'll get a million things. To me, those are the things that work for me. I think it's more of a personal thing for me. So we're gonna go back to the other slide. So we're gonna, I want you guys to maybe think of something in your life right now that you'd love to change. One thing in your life that you'd like to change, right? So if you've had any trauma in the past, okay, I suggest that you don't necessarily use that in a group environment. In a private, one-on-one, you're gonna have more of a loving, sacred space where you feel safe. Let's focus on something that's current, that's in your life, that you'd like to change, right? Relationship, person, place, or thing. You can't change a person, but you can maybe change the way you feel about that person. Everybody have one?
Could it be something you want to start?
Absolutely. Maybe your thoughts about this, right? And yeah, definitely something you want to start. It could be your work. It could be self stuff. It could be about me just being more authentic, me being more loving, being able to fully express in relationships or at work, right? Because sometimes I hold myself back, right? Anything. So I want you guys to close your eyes.
Do you want the light on?
Yes, if you could. I want you guys to close your eyes, and for those of us who are in our heads all the time, this is like the hardest part for you, and you're gonna feel like this is torture, but just trust me, it's just your thoughts. Don't listen to them. Observe them, right? Observe your thoughts. So just, if you could, everybody close their eyes. And I want you to think of that thing in your life that you'd like to change. And then just notice in the body where you feel it. So if you felt it, that energy was anywhere in your body, where would it be? Is there anyone who cannot feel it in their body? Just raise your hand. Awesome. So everybody connected with a feeling, a an emotion. So if you had to label this emotion that you feel in the body because of this thing, you know, something that's in your life that you want to change, if you had to label that emotion, you know, you don't have to say it out loud, but say it to yourself. What is that? What is that emotion that you feel? Could be excitement, right? Could be fear, anything. Just notice it and label it. And now we're going to go up and I'm going to walk you through the roadmap. So keep your eyes closed. I want you to take a deep breath into your heart. So I want you to center yourself in your heart. So I'm going to keep referring you back to that heart center, right? It's just your chest. Try to breathe into your chest. Take a deep breath into your chest. That's where we center ourselves. This is where you want to find the answers, the highest truth about you, not in your head. Your head is awesome. It's wonderful for organizing, for shopping lists, but when it comes to healing something, it's in your heart. So bring your awareness to your heart. And let's take another deep breath in. Excellent. So I want you now to imagine that your feet are connected to the center of the earth. Imagine that your feet are connected to the center of the earth. Imagine that that core of the earth, the energy, is going up through the soles of your feet, up through your legs, your thighs, your hips, and up each chakra one by one. If you're not sure where your chakras are, just go to the base of the spine with this earth grounding energy and bring it all the way up the spine. Bring it up through each chakra, opening up each chakra one by one with this beautiful grounding earth energy. Bring that energy all the way up to the crown of the head. And I want you to imagine when you bring your grounding energy from Mother Earth up through all the way up to the crown, I want you to imagine that there's this beautiful ball of light about 5 or 6 inches above your head. So your energy, Mother Earth energy, all this beautiful energy and your essence is going to gently come out through the crown of your head into this beautiful ball of light that's right above your head. So I want you to notice what it feels like, what it looks like in this beautiful ball of light. Just take notice. If you're like me, at the beginning, I didn't see anything, I just felt. So you're just going to feel. That's the way some people see, right? Is what they're feeling. So don't get so caught up in seeing. So let's go up in that beautiful ball of light. I want you to imagine that you're going up and floating up, higher and higher, past the universe, past white lights. You might see white lights and dark lights and white lights. And all that is where one plane starts and the other one begins. One plane ends and the other one begins. Right? It's just going up, up. All the way up. Going higher and higher. With each inhale you go higher. And with each exhale you go higher. Even if you're resisting, you're going to go higher. You're going to get all the way up until you see this beautiful pearly iridescent white light. It might look like a picture frame, a doorway. I want you to walk into this beautiful pearly iridescent white light. And when you're there, I want you to take a deep breath into your heart. If you're not sure whether you're there, we're going to ask, are we there, yes or no? If you get a no, say, it is permitted that we go up to the we call it the 7th plane of existence, okay? But just going up to that beautiful pearly iridescent white light. And when you're in there, again, take another deep breath. And I want you to feel this pearly iridescent white light. And I want you to breathe it in to every cell of your body. You may notice that you all are already one with this energy. Right? This is the energy that is a higher part of you. Right? Source energy, a higher part of you. So I want you to put your hand in your heart and take a deep breath here. And feeling that beautiful pearly iridescent white light. Imagine that you are a glass and that pearly iridescent white light is flowing through you like a glass. And from here, this is where I conduct my sessions with my students. Right? So staying here in your heart, I want you to, now that your hand is in your heart, you're going to take a deep breath. And we're gonna ask, these beliefs that I have about my situation, whatever it was that you were thinking about, are they true, yes or no? Here's where you're gonna get insight. Here's where you're gonna connect to that higher part of you that knows everything, that already knows that you are whole, that you are perfect, that you are complete, right? This is who you really are, that higher vibration of love and light. This is where we come from. So the more we can connect to this, the life outside of us starts to shift for us, because we realized the highest truth, right? Not the beliefs or the thoughts or the media, right? So what I want you to do now is I want you to bring your attention to the base of your spine. And now anything in your life that is not in alignment with your core values, which are whatever your core values were, if you remember what they are, you're going to ask this, with this, right, energy, divine energy, creator of all that is, whatever you want to label it, is this energy, you want it to integrate your core values into whatever it is that's going on in your life that you want changed. And we're going to start at the base of the spine, so anything that's not allowing you to fully stand in your power, or allowing you to fully express yourself, anything that's not in alignment with that, you want to let it go, disentangle. Again, remember, you can say yes or no to any of these things, but you do have to acknowledge the stuff that you do want. You have to make that conscious, right? It's a part of you taking responsibility for that change for you. So keeping the attention on the base of the spine, allowing anything that is not in alignment with your core values to be released, and we're going to realign you with that higher part of you, so that that part of your life is now in alignment with who you really are, not who you think you are. Is that okay? Say yes or no at this time. So these are our energy centers, and this holds our energy, right? So here we can focus on realigning ourselves with who we really are. This beautiful energy, right? It feels different. So stay here, connected to that beautiful pearly iridescent white light. And we ask again, anything that's not in alignment with my core values, you know what they are, you might want to list them. We ask this energy to realign us, every part of us, right? That physical part of us, to align that with who we really are and our core values. So that we're now living from this space, especially with the things in our lives that we're not so happy about. So now let's bring the energy up to this connection that you have, right, with this beautiful pearly iridescent white light. Some of you still have your hands in your heart, and this is awesome, so stay there. Just notice, see if you can just stay with this energy and tap into some insight as it pertains to the situation that you want to change. Totally notice, totally observe, totally feel. Now the key here, you guys, is to trust that. This is the highest truth. It may not, sometimes when we truly go inward and we listen, it's like, I don't want that, but, or it's scary, right? But this is the highest truth. So if you are getting a message, run with it. And it will be the best that you do. It will work out in your best and highest. So again, connecting with this beautiful pearl staying connected to your heart. We want to ask that we claim our power back, our emotional well-being, that we're able to live our lives from this space, from this heart space. And to align our mind and our hearts together, right? It's like sinking the mind down into the heart. We need this. Right? We need all of our education, we need all of this, but it's now coming from a place of love versus a place from fear. Right? Using the voice of wisdom versus the voice of judgment. Let's take another deep breath. Staying with this beautiful pearly iridescent white light and integrating this into our bodies, integrating this into our minds, integrating this beautiful energy into all that we are. Because it is all that we are. It's just now being conscious of it, knowing that this is there, this is energy that I can tap into. So now I want you to imagine that you're going to go in this beautiful pearly iridescent white light. I want you to imagine that you're rinsing yourself off with this, like a shower or a waterfall. Just imagine yourself being rinsed off of anything that can be rinsed off at this time, giving this energy permission to just rinse off whatever it is that can be rinsed off at this time that's no longer serving you, especially when it pertains to anything that's not in alignment with your core values or anything that's not in alignment with the thing you wanted to change in your life, right? Being able to rinse anything that's not in alignment with the core values and just rinse them away. And when you feel that that process is completed, you're going to go back through the crown of your head. In through, going down, all the way down to your feet. And just imagine that your energy is going down to Mother Earth again and connecting with that beautiful grounding energy. So it's really important, you guys, to ground. So take a minute or two to just feel that beautiful grounding energy. Bring it up through the soles of your feet and bring it all the way up to the crown. Fill yourself up with this grounding energy. And when you feel that you've grounded yourself really good and that you took the time to really bring that energy from Mother Earth up through the soles of your feet all the way up to the crown of the head, and only when you feel you're ready to complete, you can open your eyes. Another deep breath. And when you feel that the process is completed, open your eyes. Some of us just want to stay there.
We do have another room you can nap in if you nap just today.
So in that energy that you guys just experienced, you're able to tap into your subconscious mind. You're able to identify beliefs that are like, oh my gosh, now I see why I have this back. share? Anybody have any experience that they want to share? Did anybody get any insight as to what's really going on in their life and not what we thought was going on with what we want to change?
Yeah, so I had a belief thing about money, and the belief was I'm not worthy. It was very interesting, and I'm always like kind of at this like breaking even thing, like we'll always have just enough, and that was the belief. No, I don't. That's bullshit.
You're right, it's just a belief. And
Just
that
a
higher
belief.
part of you was like, no, that's
Yeah,
not
what the
real,
hell's
that's
that
not
about?
true. There's abundance everywhere. We all deserve it, right? So good, that was
Yeah.
awesome. Anything else? That was really good. Oh, I'm really shy. Yay, one more.
Just a general question. What does it mean when you kind of
Yeah.
shake? What is that?
Okay, so it's interesting, shaking. So I'm also studying under this doctor, and basically it's with the body, and it's more. Theta is what we just experienced. This is me actually touching and getting people more connected with their body and having them, and then there's tremors in the body. So what happens is that's a way of release. So you're releasing something, you know. Like this is when I learned this stuff when I was doing Pilates and somebody wanted to get up and throw up, or somebody was just crying on my table, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? I knew because I've done, you know, I was always very into all this stuff. I realized, okay, she's releasing something, and I told her, look, it's okay. Like just now, you know, when you take the garbage out, we don't pick through it, we just throw it away. It's just whatever it is, you let go of something, and that's awesome. So it is very common for people to maybe shake a little bit, especially if you're changing beliefs, because like I said, these are things that are integrated into your body. That's what, you know, that diagram that I showed you, that there's always a connection to the body. And if you can release it from the body, you've just totally changed, right? So good for you if you were able to release something. And I'm sure it's related to whatever topic you were talking, you know, you were focusing on, whatever it is that you wanted to change in your life.
That's good.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. So,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, whenever I do meditate, I always am like on the verge of crying. Like I always, and I can't, sometimes I can't recognize if it's like a happy or a sad cry, but I always feel like kind of
and
overwhelmed.
have you let yourself go there and cry?
Sometimes it just, it's like just a little dew in my eyes, and then it doesn't like fully come out.
So, you know, you can have someone to be there with you when you go through it, or you can just go there. Just try it and keep going, keep allowing yourself to go a little deeper. Because again, it's just, you know, whether we cry, whether we throw up, you know, it's purge. You're just releasing energy from the body, and it's not a bad thing. And so don't think that it's that oh my God, there's something wrong with me. No, allow yourself to just, you're releasing stuff. So, you know, you will eventually. It'll be in your time, but just know that it's okay to go there and to feel it. And you'll notice too that when you do, there's gonna be something different about you. Right? I don't know if, you know, you just had a little tremble, but sometimes when we do stuff like this, it's very subtle for some people. And then there's some people who are texting me going, oh my gosh, this just changed, oh my gosh, right? So it's, either way, it's okay. You're just moving and changing energy. And like I said, when you, like for you, if you go there and you feel the tears, see if you can connect with your body and see where it resides. And then give yourself, if you feel safe, give yourself the opportunity to really go there and feel it. And like I said, you guys, if it feels overwhelming and it's like, oh my God, this doesn't feel good, I promise you, you're not gonna die. You might feel like you're gonna die, but you're not. But if you let yourself really go there deep, and again, there's people like myself and this doctor who I'm working with, that's what we do for a living. We hold the space for people to really release it, because sometimes it's so big, right, that we're kind of like scared to go there because we don't want to relive it, we don't want to go through, right? Anything else? Any other questions? So I hope this has inspired you to be more of an observant of your thoughts instead of just really listening to all that. And like this gentleman brought up, which is a great question, is find things in your life that help to ground you. Find things in your life that get you out of your head and more into your heart, right? What makes your heart sing? Some people like painting, some people like singing. I like hanging out with my kids. I get more playful and I'm not so much in my head worrying about stuff, right? So find those things in your life and do more of them. Right? Be more heartfelt. And this is great, but you want to be happier? Living a little bit more from the heart is going to be more. Any questions? No? Well, thank you guys. Thanks for showing up.
Thank you.
So much.
Maria does do private sessions if you're interested. She'll have her card up at the front. We have surveys that we need everybody to fill out. This helps us to keep the lunch and learns going and understand, what people want. And number 3, if we could all gather up at the front, we usually take a lunch and learn photo